Welcome back, folks. Glad you made it past that horrible advertisement break. We have had some brilliant guests tonight, have we not? I think my favorite was that Romanian sword juggler. How he does not have cuts all over, I will never know. That's all I can do to get through my morning shift. And now, the guest you've all been waiting for. In my favorite section of the show, Under the Veil, I will be sitting down with the Countess, the brooding business mogul who has caused quite a stir in the tabloids. I'll be asking brave yet necessary questions to the controversial businesswoman. I cannot wait to take a stab at it. All that to come on Live with Derek Vale. And now, introducing the Countess. Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Now, I want to ask you a nice, easy opening question, just to break the metaphorical ice. So, my audience, they want to get to know my guests personally. So, the people want to know, what do you do to wind down after a long day at work?
Well, Derek, really I'm just like everybody else. I like to put on something comfortable, open a bottle of red, and sometimes I like to have some friends for dinner.
Yeah, we're all like that. We all like to have our friends over for dinner. I bet you have great taste in the company you keep.
Oh yes, they're delightful.
Now, Countess.
Derek, you can call me Lenora.
Thank you, Lenora. Now, in Under the Veil, we ask some pretty hard-hitting questions, so it is only fair that I ask you about what is going on in the news at the moment. For context, this country was hit with one of the most devastating plagues we have ever faced a few years ago, and hospitals were full, nurses and doctors were pushed to the absolute brink. Now, 4 years later, and I'm happy to say that cases are at an all-time low, thanks to those hard-working, heroic medical professionals. Yeah. However, Countess, it has recently come to light that your multi-billion-dollar health conglomerate, the Crimson Care Foundation, has been profiteering off millions of ordinary people. You hiked the price of PPE, and you even restricted access to vaccines in certain parts of the country. Now, you have agreed to come on the show and address those points fair and square. So, Lenora, the floor is now yours.
Thank you, Derek. Firstly, I would just like to say that my thoughts are with all of those that have been affected. I know how you all must feel. My second son, Lucian, was actually affected. Thankfully, he made a full recovery. However, I must address the frankly disgusting attack that the media has begun on me, my company, and my family. Ever since I moved here, when the plague began, they have launched article after article, digging up my past, trying to bring down everything that I've worked for 5 years.
That may be so, Lenora, but that hardly addresses the issue.
5 years. My image and reputation has been trampled on. How do you think that affects my day-to-day?
What do you think about those that say that you cut vaccine distribution to the southern regions because it is, quote, filled with delusional babies? You said that to Wellness Journal last May.
I never said that. You should check your sources, because that is false.
What
What
about
I
the
actually-
nurses who worked in the hospitals that you supply and were made to pay for their own protective equipment?
If you would just let me finish, then I might be able to answer your drivel questions.
My sister was one of those nurses, Lenora. What do you think happened to her?
You're not reading the approved question list, Derek. And with all respect, whatever happened to your sister is irrelevant to the conversation that we had. And it's the Countess to you. If you let me speak, then you might realise that actually you relate to me more than you think. I am just like you. My parents were not wealthy. I had nothing. No future prospects. And now, I am one of the richest women on the planet. You should respect me. I am the working class dream. I have achieved something that you should all aspire towards. Did I take some shortcuts? Yes. And I would do it again. My story is full of pain, suffering, blood. I came here to redeem my life. So you better fucking believe that I am taking every shortcut I can for the betterment of my company. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with this country? You champion the underachiever until they're successful, and then you turn on them. How am I any different to any of the other millionaires you've had on this show? Jealousy. You don't hate me for what happened to your sister. You hate me for the same reason that everybody else does. Because in 300 years' time, I will still be here, talking to some other shit late show host. And every single person in this room will be dead.
Ironically, our time has come to an end here, folks.
Wow, what a segment of Under the Veil. And what a killer guest. The Countess was a tough nut to crack, but like I said, I was always going to take my best stab at it. And I think we got a satisfying conclusion for all. It was a great show tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And after all that, I still think the sword juggler was my favorite. I'll see you again this Friday when I'll be taking on the Invisible Man. That is, if I can find him. All that to come on Live with Derek Vale.